Very different. I didn't expect to see it that way by flying, but the way I saw him the first time, well, I took him a little vacation time. Right now I'm having no tech with hardware. Enjoy that. Dog. Remember Mia? My little fur ball. This is my little girl. Say I live chat girl. Probably talking to nobody but one person, but just in case. Just in case you got a little fat drawer here. It's just like going, why wouldn't you think of that? Anyway, London was an experience. It was not brought about by the proper way of things. Because when we had to go do what we had to do, it was because of Nicholas. Nicholas was my baby brother by a few months. Same dad, different mom kind of thing. So, you know, constantly thrown him aside since he popped up when he was about 14. Stuck into my life up until the point when we graduated school. Yeah, he went to the school, but we graduated around the same time. But as our lives started taking on different modes, and I was trying to do music, he was good. So yeah, give me a minute. He said I was about to take care of something still. Can you take care of the ceiling for a second? Out there. But yeah, you know, Nick did what Nick does. But yeah. So, as it is, we do the things we know. So baby brother of a few months tells me, you know, hey, we can do what we need to do. We can make this money, because see, the problem I had as a young man, I had a real bad gambling problem. To the point when I was 15, I was already in debt $75,000. So when Nicholas comes up to me and going, well, there's a way we can make you this money and get you out of this debt, but it's not exactly all. And he made sure that, well, complicated. You had to do from shouting my product, which in this case were firearms, luckily. But needless to say, you know, shady things in between, Nicholas put me through a hell I didn't even deal with. See, at the time I had 3 strikes against me, and they were not with the law, but they still existed. And one of those strikes, one of those strikes was having a girlfriend by the name of Julie Martinez. She's 2 years older than me. She was from the Dominican Republic. She knew Nick before she really knew what he was about, but I didn't know what she was about, and she was really into a lot of hairy stuff. She was dealing with the Dominican Republic, which is her home. She was dealing with the cartels that were down there. Now, by the time I find this out, I'm already in too deep. And Nick, well, Nick is riding high off of my talents. He's using me for other things. And we're gonna go to London. I'm thinking, you know, fly out. We're gonna see London. Cool, great. No, shit. Now, for those of you that may have taken cruises in your life, taking a cargo ship is not at all anywhere near that. There's no going out on top of the deck and being on like, oh, let's do some shuffleboard or play cards and other kind of crap you do on a cruise ship. No, you're usually below decks. In case with us, we're below decks. Now, we're not stowaways. We have paid for it. We don't need to be above deck because we're not workers. We're not crew hands. On a cruise ship, yeah, you stop at port and party. Stop at the pickup on port. Drop off one thing out of the cargo ship, pick something up. So your journey's not just one straight line. So we're on the water for 3 weeks. By the time we got to where we need to be, you know, Canadian waters, in London and Canada, I had 3 weeks of madness dealing with one of the most craziest sociopaths I would know, next to a few others I won't name in this particular situation. Trying to have a good stream and be quiet about it, be cool. So So there's really no need to get that. But by the time we got to London, yeah, things were done. Packages delivered, payment at the time, got out of debt for a minute. Until, of course, you get back to the city, go back to California. And it's been another 6 months going back into debt because you still have it. Let me tell you something, gambling, don't do it. Before it's all said and done, I got back into around 50,000, 55,000 in cash in debt. And I would get out of debt, that's not the problem. Before that, though, we had spent a good week in London and that was nice. But unlike when we got there, I was like, you know what? I'm not going through this. I'm taking the plane back. It took me 20 minutes. Flew back. And it only caused me more problems because in his mind, I'd be treated because I didn't go back simultaneously. That didn't make sense to me. I'm looking for you, not me. Long story short, dealing with London and going there in the middle of the same time, I really garnished the madness that I couldn't believe the lengths that he mentioned to get me there, the lies he told me to get me there. Which is, we can screen line again, I will tell you a story about the situation I got right back up with the cartel to finally get me out. So I had to borrow money from them to take care of some things. And I did. Julie may have been crazy, headstrong, lunatic, but it came down to it. One of you watching this, buddy, give us a shout out one day. I haven't heard from you in like a decade. Love you. So you do all the things you do. And while he, being the eldest, he sat me down one day when it was far too late going, my sister's crazy. She's pathological, she's psychotic, sometimes suicidal when she was. In the end, by the time I got back to California, took care of some other things, took almost a year and a half to get out of debt again. I dealt with the fact that the people I thought I could trust, I couldn't. And they were later on stabbing me in the back. And everybody that needed me paid was paid. When I got out, though, I got drawn back in by my so-called friends. They lied to me and got me down there, and then got me mixed up back with the cartels for a decade. Now, to make it clear, the people that I dealt with in the Dominican Republic, we are square, we're on good terms, friendly cohabitation anytime I'm around and down there, which I haven't been in a while, but if I was, there's nobody looking for me. And that's fine. But the point was, when you get away from that life, you're gambling and partying incessantly, and you're settled being who you are, and someone will take their time to deceive you just for a game, to mess up your life, knowing everything they told you is a lie. It's just horrific. Then you know that people close to you are freaking sociopaths. Oh my God. And yes, I'm talking about you. Don't have to say a name. You know who I'm talking about. You know. You lying sack of human excrement. But anyway, by the time we got done and I got out of debt, left from the cartels and Vegas, because I got stuck in Vegas for a month. And God, that was terrible. I'm going to jump track real quick because this is crazy. Just to let you know how bad things can be if you ever start gambling. Don't do it. Now, for those that know me, I had two very best friends. I still have one of those best friends now. There's Ari and there's Roy. Now, me and Roy have known each other since pretty much grade school. I've known him since 5th grade. And he's 5 years old, so gotta bear in mind, when he introduced himself to me in the schematic of school, he's trying to take my lunch from me. But I bashed him, and I got his way. Point is, We were friends, and we did a lot of things together. We partied together, we drank, we even had a music group for a while. But at one point, we also shared the same addiction, the addiction of gambling. Oh my God. We used to go to Vegas every other weekend. Then we got to one point, we were like, you know what? We all graduated high school, all moved out of the house. We only lived in Vegas for a while. The plan was to live in Vegas for a year. Work out, make some money, maybe make it big. Like every loser, gambler thinks, make it big. And then screw yourself up. But so we said, all right, we'll live in Vegas. So we moved up to Vegas. Within 2 weeks, things already started to unravel. You can't have 3 semi-grown men, all under the age of 20. Again, well, I can't say that. Wrong is already started. Point is, I think I was maybe 17 and a half. About to be 18. Point is, we're doing what we're doing. We're living our life. And in one shot, Roy lost a substantial windfall of money. I think something like 15 grand. He loses his money. And instead of thinking ahead of going, let me call the guys. Maybe I can find a better way around this. No, he decided to double down. Because he's addicted to gambling, it will tip so bad. So the car we came up in Vegas in, he sells it for $500. The car cost me $1,500. It's not fucking $100. So he sells the car. Gets the money for it, obviously. Gets back to the tables. Loses all the money within a few hours. By the time we get back to the room, well, we now know we don't have a car, and he has gambled away the rent money for next week. He sent you on this trip. Particular hotels on a weekly basis, so you go, okay, we're screwed. So like any other gambler, do what you do. I had maybe about $150 on me. I make dinner first, then we're gonna go to the tables at the slots, whichever it takes. Double down, get some money. I go in. Next 4 hours, I spend gambling. I hit the blackjack tables, got a few extra hundred. Then from there, little baccarat. Then we to the cards again, until I got a little bit more scratch. At that point, I said, well, you know what? It's time to go. So I went, leaving both Ari and Roy in Vegas. And I came up and I said, well, I moved myself up to CS and chilled out. But I was done. And after all that madness, me and Ari are still friends. It's been years. We're still friends now. Me and Roy were on the house. Me and Sean. Well, here we go. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to have to take a break because my dog is losing her mind. I have to deal with a wild Chowie. Come here, girl. Oh, here, little girl. Put your back pig hair down. Yeah. See what I got to go through in dog land? But anyway, after our unfortunate split, after a while, Ari being, one of the more level-headed of all three of us, he got his stuff together. Now he lives in London. For the most part, he's in London as a resident, but for the most part, he does a lot of traveling. And last time I did talk to Ari was maybe sometime last year. And Ari has been a stand-up guy to me and mine for a long time. Despite the fallout between me and Roy and some different stuff, other things that went down that didn't have to behind other people that complicated our relationship decades ago, he became someone I can actually trust. And that's very important, is trust. Because when somebody violates your trust, they let you know automatically going, not only are they lying to you because they're a sociopath, they're doing it for kicks or whatnot. And that's not right at all. But that's what people do when they're twisted and they have their own agendas. So Ari made up for the madness that Roy put me through on the first deal and had me down for vacation. Just 3 days. Blame me if you've been going through madness, any kind of hood rat madness. 3 days is a good thing. So when I got my first divorce, when I got away for a while, I took off and I got settled in my own place. I took off for 3 days. And the best part about it, when you are truly flying solo, no one knows you're gone. They don't care because they're not watching you. And my ex hadn't started stalking me yet, so it was all cool. Because that's another story for another day, but oh my god, that was crazy. But yeah, so I had me down there for 3 days. We drank, hung out with him, his current girlfriend at the time, and Ariella, his daughter, which has become quite a beautiful woman these days. But yeah, it's all what it is. Excuse me, I guess he was calling me. But, so, what to think? See most of the hot fog, mostly in my brain, because it was like so monumental trash. I had a good time. We went, hit a lot of pubs, didn't do a lot of eat this out. Stage, no, it's none of those things. It is grand fact. Now, you do the person that would take my work, scripts that I worked on for years, and people went to, let's just say, for the sake of argument, without naming names, because if you name the wrong names, like if you badmouth something like Disney or something like that, you will get a strike, you will get banned, but it had nothing to do with this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, this particular film company was like Asylum. They cranked out stuff, pretty low rate quality, but film was a film, they tried to make money out of it. So he sold my material, had the film made, got my name cut completely off of it. I could feel it. But for the sake of argument, why didn't you just ask me for it when we gave it to you? But he stole it, and then he made himself quite a bit of revenue off of it. Enough revenue to relocate from Florida, Miami, Florida, back to Germany, which is his home spot. Now, Nikolai, but when you're in the States, we know they're going to call you Nikolai. It's Nicholas. So Nicholas, with all his shady endeavors, it's best to say, he found it necessary to not only disrupt and destroy my film shooting, my dailies that I were doing, by implementing not only someone that I thought I could trust involved in this, but this person not only was relaying information back to me about everything we shot. They were copying every file that we used, to the point where they took us to court on what we already had. We were filming for 6 months before I got called on some other issues. Before it was said and done, because of his deceptions and his greed and just being plain old piece of, he was excellent. I got cut out of a deal, which wasn't really a lot of money then, but when you don't have a lot of money, whatever it is. So it was like for $250,000 to shoot, do the screenplay and all. But because of him, I was cut out. Ari was cut out because he was one of my financial backers. And we not only lost the print that we had made, we turned around and had to give up our rights to do it. So we not only lost the money in the screenplay, we had to destroy our original print just so to keep anybody else from utilizing what we had made. Our part of the creation was our our insight on it. So it was our content, and the only light at the end of the tunnel is I still have control of the property, of the characters. Now the other films that they made prior to our stuff, my name was written off. I don't care. What they made was a watered out version of a great script, and they turned into basically something for Pussycat Theater, okay? It was a quick cut, flash and dry thing. It took them about 4 or 5 months to shoot it. It's still out today, but once again, says when you sign an NDR, you can't talk about it. What you can talk about? I haven't named any names, but let's put it this way. The vampire film, kisses in the title, and that's all you get. I'm not getting sued because I discussed something that I wasn't going to talk about theoretically. Anyway, so after essentially at that point, my career aspirations for film were squashed. Had me down back there in the hood where I did not want to be and didn't need to be. All because everybody in question lied, so there wasn't that money. By the time I got back to the CS, my reputation had been tarnished, of course. But I was still trying to get the finished film done for what we already had shot. But you know, when you had to deal with things, couldn't do that. And everybody that was involved pretty much came to hate me because I didn't get the finished film, but it was out of my control. Because by then, I wrapped back up dealing with Nicholas, the cartels, the craziness. But then as I found everything else he was trying to spin me into was all about him. I turned around and dealt with something different, something more profound. The fact that now he calls me up, tells me what he did, he destroyed my life. He's the reason they got lured down my the contract. So he instructed us both, interact with. One of which was a good friend of ours named Roy. Now Roy, or Royal D, as he likes to be known as, his credit ain't saying he's a police. So at one point when I first left Cali, I'm like, dude, he lived in New York, so he invited me up there for a while. Let me tell you, I can't stand New York. I won't ever do that again. Even if I had the money, I can't do it. It's just, ugh. But anyway, so I stayed down there with him for a while. And then, I come back to CS. He moved out there for a while. Now, you think you know a man when you know him since you were 14. You think you know him because you've hung out, you've been on double dates, all that kind of stuff, hung out on the beach. Man, I know Roy at least not like I thought I knew him. I mean, like I said, we're still getting solid, but the man has, what's the word I'm looking for? He has questionable attributes about himself. He's good people, but he's greedy. And when I say he's greedy in the fact that in today's world, you know why we even look at it twice. When I first found out about his extracurricular activities, sexually speaking, that he likes both men and women, I'm like, what? So you do is like, okay, dude, whatever. But without getting graphic, there's those conversations where your boy tells you way too much more you want to know. So much more you want to know. But like I said, politics aside, friends are friends, and I don't care about your politics. They really want to be with, so we want to bet that's your business. As long as we cool, and you ain't trying to bend me over no furniture, we're straight. So, dealing with the madness that exists, he and I and Nicholas and Ari and Roy have all known each other for more So for Nicholas to show his tail and confess to his crimes, what he did to derail my career, my life, hell, even my marriage, there was only one thing left to be done about that. But where I come from, generally speaking, that's almost punishable by, almost by self-deletion. But if you can't get a cowardly piece of farm done to do that, you do something else. So see, Nick likes to run his mouth, but one of the things he ran his mouth about was something that he didn't realize that I knew that he didn't. Now, during one of his little escapades several years ago, he got, well, he had got one of Rory's girlfriends in some trouble for law. She got arrested. She did a year time, and during the time by the time she got out of jail, she was screwed up. And we all didn't know, why that even went down, but come to find out, it was Nick that did that. Nick had arranged things to get her pinched so he could reduce his sentence on something because, like I said, shady, bad, total weasel. So, like I said, they called me up that day, bragging and boasting about what he had achieved and how he had wrecked my life, how he had let me down to the wires back in the hood. He also lied. Wow, I don't even know how he knew what he did. So, after confessing how he went on his way to break me as a person and as a man, it left me only two choices. One, you can either do something foolish, like take him out to the Everglades and see he comes up missing. That's always fun. Excuse me. Or do the other names. Excuse me. Hello, Puddin. I have no idea. No. I thought you said you would have chicken and salad. Mm-hmm. Just change your mind. Be quiet, man. Right. Well, you give it thought. I don't know. Say hello to the tube. I'm on live. How are you doing? Hello. But yeah, it's not like there's anybody chat. But I need to get this on my chat, so I figured let's talk about some things. But no, I can't think of what to do for dinner. But right. Who's that? That has that? Yeah, that works. When you're done? Oh, okay. No, I don't know. But meal. Right. It sounds good. That works too. Wait, I'll take either. Actually, how many? Right. I look deep into my empty chat room, and it's okay because I don't have to be self-conscious about it as I tell the story. I don't know. No, I'm serious. It's like the best part of being a speck on the tube. It doesn't matter because there's no one here to go, oh, what's he saying? Don't worry about it. You can later. Shut up, Mia. She sees the neighbor, so she's going like a wolf dog. To the door she goes. Yeah, wait for the package and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, either one of those is fine. Yeah. Right. Okay, well. No, maybe some chips or some kind. Or it can be, yeah, that's fine. Alright. Alright, let me check. Like a little baby. Sorry, y'all. We'll be on to be later. Because, like I said, when they don't really know you exist online, doing this particular stream is pretty much for me, not so much for you guys. You can catch you in the replay. But y'all gotta know about Nicholas because, see, I mean, I can name names about other people that complete garbage fire per people. Oh my god. At least not today. You want to get some whiskey in me? Yeah, I might go full tilt going, screw it! He forgot what he was talking about. He blurted that out one thing. We get done. Just have to hang up. He tells me. And then he tells me what Nick's involved in. Was trying to play his hands at being a kingpin. And he was running narcotics, weapons, prostitution, and a few other things I can't even say. But when you turn on one of the inner circle, which despite Rory's politics, someone that if the need comes to take action on another person involved, there would be very little hesitation. So, after finding out the reason why his ex, squirrel crap creep, squirrel into the basic squirrel, to put Nicholas on ice, the things he did against me, the things he stole from me, my artwork, my scripts, we heard the of it, he overjoyed. So we turned around, and he pretty much took a run. Not only was he there, in a particular citizens, let's say territory, you don't do that. So since he got stands against me, we put him down. He put him some line, you tell him, and then all the things you said to me were all bullcrap. He just had to play a game, took me away from what I was doing, and totally devastated my world because you dragged me into something you had no idea. You do not play with any cartel. You don't mess with the cartels. But if you're into them, you do what you're told, you do what you say, you keep your word and your timetable moving, or you end up short. I wasn't going through that. But you know what pulled us up against the cartels too? Nicholas did. So his only way out of this was to do that. It's either take the jail time, prison time in Germany, or come back to the States and get deleted. So my point to this is that I got a DM a couple of days ago telling me that Nicholas might be getting out early. He might actually get out a year early out of his sentence of 10 years. Already I've learned that while he's been in there, he's been running things like a little legionnaire. He runs all kind of stuff from his cell, but him getting out, that's just him getting out. And I don't want that. Now, don't get me wrong. If he serves his full 10 years, that'd be great. But see, he's not. Which means somehow he's found a way to buy his way out early. I know it didn't matter good behavior. So, it means he's either squared things up with people in the States, or he's found himself a new honey lamb to take care of him when he gets himself out. So for those of you that know Nicholas, if you're aware of Mr. Sands, I want you to take time if you've seen this, whether it's you're in there because there's no way to do it. This was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't really announce it. But thing is, if you know Nicholas or his cohorts, his assistant, it's like it's a definite moment of hashtag cancel Nicholas, hashtag keep him in prison for his other 2 years. Because if he's allowed out, and he's allowed out to cause more trouble, no one needs that sociopath out. Bad enough, he helped another sociopath piece of crap full of stuff and end my career. And have me in hiding from people for a very long time. With all that pulled and lifted, the thing is, when I first saw London, I had to see it after traveling for weeks in a damn cargo ship because Nicholas couldn't get his business straight. Didn't get matters of plane tickets to get there. Couldn't get a proper ship to take. No, he had to deal with things of taking a ship and travel on a bunch of mercs, a bunch of other lunatics. And that's fine. Builds character. It also builds a wall of rage. You're gonna unlearn at every single person that makes your time to learn after that. So, Nick, if you happen to catch this, because I know you have, a set in your room, probably computer too. Stay away from the CS. Stay away from the States. Work your magic out there in Germany, where they accept your folly, where they indulge in your madness. But realize that you have stopped very little. The only thing you really have done is put a price tag on your head in the regard of that if you come to the States, there is more than a dozen different people that would like to have a private conversation with you. Me being not one of them. But Charlie sends his regards. And a few other people. Now, to my lawyers that'll watch this later, don't think I've ignored your DMs about the second half of the Zeiss video. It's on its way. But once again, if you want to see content like that and many other things happening, you can like, share, subscribe, hit the button. And for those of you that don't get it, gotta hit it. Well, hashtag keep Nicholas Sands in jail, hashtag keep him out of the country. Like I say, guys, this is my first live stream release on this platform. I'll talk to you about London another day, but right now, I got to go. I'm Giovanni. I'll catch you guys later. Talk to you about money in the global situation later on. Peace.